Hey guys, I'm Stevie from Nurture Nourish Love, and today I wanted to talk to you about 5 tips that I use to successfully complete 2 no spends in a row, and I'm moving on to my 3rd no spend. And here are some things that I did that made it a lot easier for me to be successful. So I look terrible, I know, I'm sorry. This is literally the worst day of the week for me. I need to change my upload schedule because I have it on my banner that I'll upload on Wednesdays and Saturdays, and Wednesdays are just impossible. We have so much going on with my daughter and her classes, and it's like I have mom hair like crazy, no makeup, I'm wearing a sweater and like workout pants because that was all I could find. So today is one of those crazy days, but I really wanted to get a video up, and I figured why not talk about a no spend. And I'm sorry if you're sick of this background. I have to film somewhere where I can keep an eye on my daughter, so she's right next to me playing with a book. So yeah, let's just go ahead and let's get into it. So first let's talk about why I'm doing a no spend. So everybody has different reasons. But for me, it was I needed to take a step back from spending. We have 2 big trips coming up in 2000, at the end of this year and the very beginning of the year after. We have a trip to Disneyland and then a trip to Disney World. We are doing 2 massive trips, one of which is the first time we're taking my daughter and a huge family reunion. And another one is a trip that me and my husband had already planned to celebrate one of our anniversaries. So very expensive, and we just really needed to slow our roll on spending. Specifically me. I am a planner girl. I love all things planning. So I'm a planner girl and I love my planner stuff. Thank you. So I'm a huge planner girl at heart. I love all things planning. I love planner stickers, planner supplies. Hobby Lobby and Michael's are my jam. I spend so much time and money there. And for me, it was really daunting to take a step back and do a no spend. So I don't go near those stores anymore. So I needed to take a step back. I was spending a lot of money and a lot of time shopping, and it just became really almost poisonous to me. So I have taken a step back. I started my no spend at the beginning of January, like the beginning of the second week of January, I think, is when I started my no spend. My husband is on it as well. And we have carried that into this month, and we're going another couple of months. And just to talk about the difference between a budget and a no spend. So we have a budget, but the no spend goes towards an allowance for me and my husband. We don't have one. We are not spending money on fun stuff right now. We have a budget that allots a certain amount for things like going out to eat or going to the movies. And at first that was a part of our budget for spending, and we realized we would rather just put that towards going out to eat as a family or going on a date night. But even then we are being very frugal, and I will do a video on our budget, but we have budgeted everything out and we know where every penny goes now. Whereas before it was all kind of hazy. I don't know if you guys have that where after a while it's just, it goes on a card and you just swipe it and go, and it's really hard to be accountable when you do it like that. So here is my first tip. Use cash. As much as you can, use cash for everything. Even if you're not successful in your no spend, it is a lot easier to be accountable when you have cash and you see how quickly it goes. So when you use cash, it prevents you also from using things like, I don't know, Etsy, which is my weakness. I love Etsy so much. So cash has really helped me to curb that addiction. My second tip is to tell people. So when I first started my no spend, I was like, should I even tell people that I'm doing a no spend? But if you've been on my Instagram or on my Periscope, you know that hauls are my most frequently done videos and things like that. Like, I did hauls all the time. I would go to Target several times a week, and it was just constant overload and oversaturation of shopping. And it's so easy to fall into that trap. So when I told my planner bestie that I went on a no spend, every time I saw something, I would be like, oh my gosh, I have to get that. And she'd be like, no, Stevie, be good. Be good. You're doing this. I'm proud of you. And she has actually really helped me stay on track, even when I wanted to kind of like fall off the bandwagon a little bit and go buy something, she held me accountable, which was really, really, really amazing. And it was super helpful. So I definitely appreciate that. Don't be afraid to lean on people and to tell them what you're doing, because they'll be the first people that are like, what happened to your no spend? So don't be ashamed of it. Tell people you're doing a no spend, and most people will be really helpful and really respectful of that situation. My third thing is have a goal in mind. So for us, the thing that we struggled with the most was, is this no spend permanent? Do we need to no spend forever? And we decided not to do like a time amount for our no spend. We actually decided to go on a no spend until we have a majority of one of the vacations saved up for, because the second vacation comes right around, you know, bonuses and things like that. So that'll be easier for us to fit in. But one of them is going to be really tough to swing. So we decided we are going to no spend until we have a majority of that saved up. And actually we're doing really, really, really good, and there is an end in sight. But I want to see how long I can take it out. But make sure that you have a goal in mind and that you have an end point. And once you get there, it feels so good. I've never done a no spend for a month before. Anyone who knows me knows I've never gone a month without shopping. In my whole life, never. And now I have, and now I've gone 2 months without it. And now I'm more addicted to seeing my savings account grow and to the rush of not spending money. It's really crazy. I'll talk about it more in my budgeting video, which I'm going to do. My next suggestion, I think I'm on 3 now. I don't know. If I have more than 5 tips, cool. But 5 is more of like an estimate. But my next tip is go on social media. One of the things that really was getting me was I was trying to stay off of Instagram and off of everything and off of Etsy and off of all of that to avoid temptation. Ring, ring, ring. But the trick for me wasn't to avoid temptation, and it certainly wasn't to withdraw myself from social media, because, well, I withdrew from my friendships that I have on there, and I kind of was bored, and I need that social media, especially since I'm at home all day. I don't talk to adults very often, frankly, so I need social media in my life. Like, I need social media in my life. So for me, I didn't stay off of social media. I changed the way that I approach it. When I see something, I think, do I already have that? Is that something I want to make? I use social media as an inspiration now, not as something to drive me to buy things. So I purely use it to get ideas and to really challenge myself creatively, which leads me into my next tip, which I'm all crazy with my hands, sorry. So my next tip is get creative and rediscover your stash. If you can see it, you can probably make it. If someone else is making it, you can probably make it yourself. And I'm certainly not saying copy their work. I'm saying get inspiration. If you see someone making stickers and they're hand drawing it, figure out how to draw it. You can draw it on a white piece of paper, cut it out with scissors, and use some tape or glue or adhesive, and you can put it right in your planner or your scrapbook or whatever it is. So these are my 2 tips. They've kind of melded together. But another thing is that you need to go through what you have and you need to rediscover why you bought it. For me, I have a room full of crafting things, and most of the craft people that I know have a very similar situation. You have tons of stuff, so why are we buying more? Why do I need to buy more? I don't. What I need to do is use what I have. So if you look at my dory that I recently did, everything that I put into it is stuff I already had and had completely forgotten about. Nothing was new. Even the folder that I made was from the one spot 6 or 7 months ago, maybe even last summer. So for me, it was about rediscovering what I have and getting creative at the same time. If I see it, I want to figure out how to make it for myself, because frankly, I can't go out and buy it right now. So I'm not in a position to say, well, I don't know how to do this. And chances are you have everything you need already in your stash. So don't be afraid to go through and rediscover it.
Mom, what's that?
It's a fork. It's a fork. So my final tip is to lean on your spouse, significant other, partner, best friend, whatever. I know that I talked about telling people about your no spend, but but also tell the people that are closest to you what you're going through. For me, I realized that spending was an addiction, and I think this is an added tip. But for me, spending was definitely an addiction. It wasn't even that I wanted these things in my life or that I needed them. It was that I was addicted to the rush of the haul. So for me, I actually started leaning on my husband a lot and saying, you know, I'm having a really tough day. I've been on Etsy all day. My cart has like $1,000 worth of stuff, which I would never spend $1,000 on a shopping spree at Etsy. I swear. The day that I do that, I will probably be single. But I will tell him, I am really struggling. I'm having a hard time. I want to break down and I want to buy this. And I had this happen. What are you doing?
It's stuck.
It's stuck? Are you trying to push the ottoman?
Stuck.
So I had this happen to me a lot in the first week. I'm sorry, that's my daughter. She's trying to push the couch. Silly kids. But I had this happen to me a lot in the first probably month. The first no spend was brutal. And I talked it through with my husband a lot. And I said, I feel weak. I feel like I feel weak. I feel like I'm not as strong as I thought I was. Like, how can I be so weak that I feel like I have to buy stuff? Like, this is stupid. How can I not have the mental fortitude to not buy stuff for a month? This is ridiculous. And I was being really hard on myself. And actually, my husband allowed me to find the grace that I needed to be very forgiving, but also still hold myself accountable. And he made it really easy for me to say, okay, I feel this way. It's okay to feel this way, but it's not okay to break my promise to myself. So, and I promise you, no spends get easier. As someone who's been on one now for 2 months, they get easier, but they're brutal in the beginning. Is that your Barbie?
Barbie's can push now.
Okay, she can push now. So those are my tips for a no spend. If you have any questions about it, let me know. I will keep you guys posted, and I will let you guys know when I break my no spend. What I have planned right now is there are a lot of Etsy shops that do big sales at the beginning of the summer and big sales over Black Friday. And my agreement to myself was I'm doing a no spend, and then when those times roll around, I'm going to give myself a budget to buy what I want and what I need. I don't need anything. See, the mentality has to change. Even I still have that horrible mentality. But I will give myself a budget to buy what I want, and as long as it's within reason, it'll be fine. Because once again, it can't go on forever, but I have to change my mentality. So I am pushing myself to go until July. And then I'm going to let myself probably do some splurging right around July 4th, and then once again over Black Friday, just so that way I can buy things and everything's on sale. I have a redhead running through nonstop. She looks like a fireball. She's crazy. But thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know if you want to see that budgeting video, because I'm happy to do it. Budgeting wasn't something we have really been good at, and we're finally finding success, and it has been really, really, really reinvigorating, and it's completely changed the way that I view things, and I'm happy to share that. And yeah, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment and ask. I'm sorry if you're sick of the background, but it's really comfortable here. But don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!